Hello Internet, so nice to see you. Let's say you are writing a rock riff and you want to find some chords that go with it so that you can play the riff and the chord at the same time and support your riff and actually make your riff shine. And as you're gonna see, the chords can make or break the riff because they color the emotion and the perception of the riff. So, how do you pick the right chord? How do you pick the right chords that go with your riff? Well, a student asked me that, and then we were going through the whole process together, okay? From the riff to the chord and how to change the chord while the riff stays the same to give new life to the riff. So let me show you the whole process. Let's go and see it.
Imagine you have a melody in your head or something you came up with. How would you come up with like cool, interesting chord progressions to get from that? Or if you have a cool chord progression, how do you get a good melody out of it?
Very good. So either way can work, and it depends how you write. The basic rule is this. Now, it's a rule, but there are many exceptions. But the basic idea is this. If you have a melody and you want to find the chord progression, you want some chords that contain the note of the melody in that moment. If there is more than one note, you want the chord to contain at least one note of the melody, right? If you start from the chord progression and you want to write a melody, the melody must contain some note of the chord, one or more. Okay, so there must be a correspondence between the two. Otherwise, it doesn't feel like that melody belongs to the chord progression and vice versa. Now, are there exceptions to this? Yes, okay. But when you are ready for those exceptions, you will just hear it. Okay, meaning that it's like, no, I want this note. I know it's not in the chord, but I want this note. That's the right note. So when this happens, you do whatever you want. Okay, and you just throw all the rules to the wind. Makes sense? But before that, you try to do this. So, do you have a melody or a chord progression in mind?
Yeah, let's go. Circles around like that.
So first of all, you guys can hear the chords under that, right? I hope, right? Good. So let's take just the first few notes and spell out all the notes slowly, please. C major. Wait, C. Something like that? Or something like that, no? Good. C, A flat, F, G. This sounds a lot like an F minor. Okay, now how do you know that? You learn all the chord by heart until you find the pattern. Simple as that.
I was improvising over a D minor drone. That's where I came from it.
A D minor drone.
Yeah.
That would be and you played an A flat over a D minor that contains the A. Sure, why not? But play exactly what you're playing. Does it work to you?
Sound kind of off.
Okay, play it again. That sounds more off though. I mean, if I play a D. I mean, maybe you can get away with this. That's C though. Okay, so now we are. So for me, this could be F minor, or C or C minor. Why? You're playing a C, A flat, F, and G. So I'm either thinking C, F, A flat, F minor, or I'm thinking C and G, which is C, and then the F and A flat are flavor notes. Okay, so you try both and see what works. Now the second thing you're playing, starting from... You're doing the same thing, but you're doing the same thing one step down in the scale. So if before I had F minor, I need to play E flat, because it's the chord that is a step down in the scale. Before I was playing C, now I need to play B flat, because it's the chord a step down in the scale. So let's play it from the beginning. So at the beginning, I was just doing C, B flat, following exactly what you were saying. Because you were saying, C sounds better, F sounds a bit off. And so I'm thinking, I have two possible harmonization for every chord. The first chord could be C minor or F minor. The second chord could be B flat major or E flat major. The one that sounds better to him, so I give him first the stuff he likes, C, B flat. But the second time through, I'm going C, and then I'm going up to E flat, which is the alternative harmonization of the second chord. See what I mean? And then when he goes to the whole thing again, I'm doing F and then E flat. And then I'm coming back B flat C. Makes sense? So that's one possible way to think about all that.
Yeah, because the first time you're using the root note, basically, that I'm starting each line on.
Yes.
And then you go into the minor 6 that I'm using.
Yes, exactly. Now, you may like that. You may not like that. This may be in your ear, or it may not be in your ear. It's a possibility, okay? I'm not proposing this as, this is the solution to the problem. There is no such a thing. It's music. You can have more than one solution. Now, what happens if you like only the first harmonization and not the second one, so you don't want to play that E flat and F? That's where you start using, well, you could do that, you can start using chord inversions. So, C minor power chord, root position. But then I can play C minor, but with an E flat at the bass, so E flat and C. You may like one of those chords, two of those chords, all those chords, so then you can change it by feeling, okay? So what did I do? I'm thinking of the C minor chord, and I'm thinking the C minor chord is C, E, flat, G. On a power chord, I'm playing the 1 and the 5, so C and G, which is what I'm doing at the beginning. But the second time I want to play something different, so I'm playing the chord in first inversion, which means I'm playing the third and I'm putting it at the bass. So the lowest note is E flat, which is the third of C minor. And then the top note is C, which is the root of C minor. And those give me a sixth, a major sixth as an interval, which it doesn't sound as good with distortion as the fifth, but it still sounds pretty acceptable, right? And then I'm doing exactly the same with B flat, D and B flat, sorry, D and B flat. Make sense?
Yeah.
I could use also the second inversion. The second inversion has the G at the bass, so I can play G and C. Second inversion of C minor has G at the bass, so I can play either G and C, or G and, sorry, E flat. Now those chords are a bit crunchier, because it's not a fifth. They are major sixth or minor sixth, which is perfect, okay, because it gives you a bit more of that flavor of the distortion. So, one, find the chord by simply seeing what notes you're playing in the riff, and seeing if you can spot some pattern, okay. If there are two notes, it could be that chord. Then, don't play that chord only in root position, just a power chord, but change the bass using another note of the chord.
Heard it.
Make sense?
Yep.
Does that help?
Yes, it does.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you.